Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So happy to see you here. How are you doing
Same,
these days?
same. Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing good.
That's great. That's great. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes for a few more people to join and then we'll begin.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
All right. So till the time other people join, would you please like to introduce yourselves to us?
Okay. So I'm Pallavi Kashyap Gupta. I am a life coach, and basically I specialize in growth and performance coaching, which deals more with your behavioral changes. I am ICF certified. I'm also a certified pranic healer, and I am into this coaching since last around 6 years.
Okay.
And before that, I'm also a certified image consultant. So I have been into training, soft skills. So I have been doing this. Yeah.
Wow, you have an impressive profile, and I think we need so many more people like you. So it's an honor for us to have you here today, and we'll have loads and loads of conversations regarding identifying triggers and beliefs in people. So that is our topic, and I think a very important topic that a lot of us need to talk about. And given your experience and your expertise, it will be our honor to share some knowledge and information from you. So I
Uh,
think we can begin. So first we'll try and focus on the topic of triggers and then we'll move on to beliefs. So would you like to tell us that what do we mean by triggers or what are the various kinds of triggers in people?
Okay, so telling you very, very simply, so let's not use words which is not understandable by common people. So triggers is just something, maybe a stimulus, right? Something which just moves us from, or you can say it moves us into our subconscious mind. Now, by saying all this, let's take very whenever we say trigger, so trigger से हमें क्या याद आता है? You know, एक गन जिसमें ट्रिगर होती है, right?
Yeah.
When you press that trigger, what happens? वो गन फायर करता है. Similarly, just understand that we are all emotional beings, right? So we have emotions attached to everything. Our senses just create emotions, right?
Absolutely.
So माँ के हाथ का खाना वो स्मेल जो है इमोशन क्रिएट कर देता है, right?
Absolutely.
So all these emotions, all these things, smell, sound, sight, right? कोई भी चीज, कोई touch, whichever can create, these are stimulus, these are signals, right? Whatever creates a memory, जो भी वो किसी मेमोरी को जाकर के हिट करता है या सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में, so that is a trigger.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Understood. So how do these triggers affect people? Like negative, positive, neutral? How do these triggers affect them?
See, triggers now, by saying triggers, normally when we use the word trigger, people think it is like always be something negative. It's not
Right.
necessary. Trigger can be positive. So if you have some desire to fulfill and you get triggered by something to fulfill that desire, then that is a positive trigger. When we'll come to beliefs and all, then we'll understand कि कैसे belief जो है वो trigger से connect हो जाता है. But saying that when we are emotional people and we have triggers, so now it's not necessary that the trigger might be only negative. It can be negative, it can be positive, right? So like taking very, very simple example, you smell a food and you just recall that okay, I love this kind of food which my mom prepared, and you call her and you talk to her and you just feel good, so it's a positive trigger, right? Similar way, there can be something, some event which has happened in your life, right? And with that event, some bad experience is attached, right? Somebody said something to you and you felt bad. Now try and understand, maybe few days later or months later or year later, that has remained in your mind. And somebody else says the same thing, or कुछ ऐसा होता है which strikes the same incident. So then it becomes a negative trigger, because you go into that low mode, you get depressed. Why did this person say this to me, and why I am like that? So then it can become a negative trigger.
All right, all right. So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, what we can understand is that the basic cognition attached to trigger is our memory. So, like, whenever, can we say it like that? That like
Yes.
memory is
Yeah, you can say, when we talk about subconscious mind is just the collection of these events. वो सब events and उसकी feelings and all that thoughts, everything is attached. So it's attached to memory. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like, what are the extreme ends of a person getting affected by these triggers? Like, whether it be in the positive direction or in the negative direction. Like, are there some extreme activities that maybe you have come across in your experience that you would like to share?
See, when it is negative trigger and the person is getting this negative trigger by and by, right? Many a times what happens, the environment is such that the person gets triggered by and the person does not have somebody to share to, right? That this is happening to me, that person is not able to express. So the extreme end can be suicidal feelings. The person can start feeling suicidal because, see, these triggers, because I said emotions. Now emotions are anger, anxiety, feeling low, feeling depressed. So the extreme end is the person will think suicidal, and the person may come to a state where the person is not in his or her conscious mind, and the person can do something which is extreme. Now, if you take to the positive end, we say no, person becomes so ziddi to get to that point and achieve it. Whatever it may come, I have to achieve. Like giving very simple examples. Suppose you are too much into that, my father or my mother dreamt, or they desired that I should become this, and you have taken it to the heart कि मुझे करके दिखाना है, right? I want to do it, and then you use all the energy, all the potential you have, and try and achieve it.
Okay.
Right. So that is an extreme end, that you do not see कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या नहीं हो रहा है, whether it is favorable or not favorable, but you just go on and do it. So then it becomes positive end also. So yeah, it goes to both extremes.
Absolutely. So, like, as you focus on facts like perfectionism or suicidal thoughts, I think it is important at the same time to understand it. How can we control such triggers so that we do not go on the extreme ends? So, what steps or maybe suggestions would you give to people in general also? How can we control our triggers? Because I think everyone has some or the other trigger. If not that extreme, all of us have some. So, how can we control them from going to the extreme ends?
See, first thing I would say, the word control itself is a trigger, right? So never think of controlling anything, because whatever you resist persists, right? If you are asked, don't go there. You will be curious enough to go and see what is there, right? Right? If you tell a child कि उसको touch मत करना, that child will wait. Whenever you are out of sight, that child will go and touch it. Right?
Absolutely.
So control, it's not about control. There's something called, just being an observer, just being in your conscious mind. कोई भी trigger आपको extreme extent तक तभी ले जाएगा. It will take you to the extreme extent only when you are completely in your subconscious.
Okay.
The moment, so what does this trigger do? It takes you away from the present state.
Absolutely.
So right now you are saying that, okay, it's 6:09 p.m., right? It's 3rd August 2021. It takes you away from it. Just try and identify. बहुत simple सा exercise है. So for people, just try and identify, are you at present moment? Are you in the present moment? If you are not, that means you are somewhere else.
Absolutely. Okay.
So the simple thing is to bring yourself in present moment.
All right. Got it.
Yeah.
So being mindful and being in the conscious state as much as possible.
Yeah. So now by saying this, let me say this also. your conscious brain is only 5%.
Oh
Right,
my.
and 95% is subconscious, right? So we are likely to move into subconscious. Like, it's very simple. So if right now while talking, if I talk to you about Goa and the beaches, you will just move out. You won't be listening to me, and you will remember, okay, Goa and the beaches, kitna maza aata tha. We had holidays, corona aa gaya, holiday new year, right? So you have gone into that subconscious. Now the catch is, everybody goes into that subconscious. Everybody. There is no person who can be conscious 24/7. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's just about bringing yourself in the conscious, or bringing yourself in the present. What happens where you gain that control? अगर हम control की बात करें, तो where you gain that control? You gain that control when the period of bringing yourself back shortens.
All right.
You will still go. You will still go into subconscious. You will still get triggered. But
Absolutely.
how easily and how quickly you are able to bring yourself back.
Absolutely. So that is the key. Like, how fast can a person get back into their conscious state? That proves how much can we, using the word control, because that is what comes to my mind, control our triggers. And yes, I was also triggered. Like, when I heard the word Goa, all I could think was beaches and sunburn. So now that was a very practically applicable example. So, like, talking about that, and as you mentioned in the starting also, linking it up with beliefs. So if we talk about beliefs, what is exactly the nature of beliefs? Like, negative, positive, neutral? How do these beliefs exist in people?
See, beliefs are nothing but thought forms, right? Thought forms, thoughts or thinking which we have. Now, how does belief come to us? See, when we are born in an environment, right, with certain people around us. Now, try and think about it. Your parents would be thinking a certain way about working, certain way about relationships, certain way about money. So what happens when we listen to those thoughts? We observe. A child always learns by observing. राइट
Absolutely.
आप किसी भी छोटे बच्चे को यू डोंट हैव टू टेल कि चलो स्ट्रेट करो अपने लेग और चलना स्टार्ट करो. Right, the child is observing. When the child is crawling, the child is observing that other people, other around him or her, are walking. So they start trying, grabbing objects, trying and use their limbs and everything, and they try and stand and then start walking. So similar way, we also observe the thought forms. We also observe the body language. So suppose if my mother says every time, nahi paise bachane chahiye, you should save money. Right? So my thought process, even if I earn a lot also, I will always try and save. Right? So if it happens that I have to invest a lot of money in something, I will hesitate for a time. Why? Because paise bachane chahiye. Right? So this becomes a belief for me. Now, how this belief is helping me? See, now the both aspects come into picture. Sometimes maybe when I am in need of lot of money and मेरा belief ये है that पैसे बचाने चाहिए, I will have certain amount saved. So I'll have that money. But again, if I am into business, I need to invest and I need to build, I need to take risk. I might not go and take that risk. Because for that risk, I'll have to lose all the money जो मैं बचा के रखा है, right? Which I am saving. So I'll have to lose all that money, and that will become a strong trigger for me that I don't have money. पैसे तो बचाने चाहिए, पैसे पूरे चले गए. So this is the way belief build.
All right.
This build belief. Like suppose you had certain experience, you tried something, right? You maybe, let's take any hobby. You tried dance, or you tried singing, or you tried playing an instrument, and you failed badly, right? And on the top of it, whoever was your trainer or the guru or the teacher, he or she scolded you badly. तुम तो सीख नहीं सकते हो, nothing, you cannot, don't touch an instrument in your life. Now what will happen? Whenever you will see a musical instrument or a dance or whatever, you will start feeling, I can't do it. Right. In this aspect, I am a failure. Now what has happened? Just because of one incident that you have repeated it by and by to yourself, that I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Now this will start playing. And this will become your belief that I cannot do certain, work. So this is how belief builds, through your experiences, through observation, through certain thoughts which in your surroundings, wherever you are born, in your culture, whichever you take, right?
All right. So context and surrounding have a very huge role to play in the belief system. So
Yeah.
if like people observe and make beliefs, so if someone develops a very rigid belief system, so how can that affect a person's existence, both at an individual level and I think in the society also, the way we interact, etc. So how does rigid belief system affect people?
Okay. So tell me, what happens to a rigid object?
Mm, they break if there's too much pressure on it.
Very good. So that is what happens to human beings. If we are rigid, in any context, if we are rigid, right? Because the reality is time is changing, life is uncertain. You cannot certain life, you cannot certain time. We don't know what is going to happen after 2 minutes. Or even after 10 seconds, even after a second later, right? So if we are rigid, and if we are not flexible, what will happen? When we'll fall, we'll break. That is the extreme we'll go to.
Absolutely. So, like, if a person has rigid beliefs, what is there like a pattern that they are more likely to find more people with similar beliefs, or are they more likely to change their thought patterns, or is there no pattern?
No, see, it's likely to happen that when we are of certain belief, we try and gel with people who have similar belief. Because why? Because our brain is, designed in certain way that we look for survival, right? So now, what had happened? Previously, we used to live in jungles, right? There were jungles, and we were always in that mode that we have to save ourselves from, wild animals, right? Now the jungles are gone, and we are now, living in a city. We have built the society, we have built buildings, but still the brain is wired the similar way. So now for us, people have become threats, right? So somebody who challenges you is a threat.
All right.
Right? So you want to prove that no, this person is saying such thing. You will always try and prove that no, I am correct. Right?
Absolutely.
So in that case, we try and gel with people who have similar beliefs. So it is likely. But again, saying that if we are slightly open, we are likely to admire people who think differently.
Okay. Absolutely.
We try and listen to them. We admire people who think differently. Now this is also a very good technique, right? If you want to gel with a person, try and mirror the person.
Okay. Wow.
So if you mirror the person, you will likely see, if there are two close friends, you will see their body language is same. Right? When they will talk, their hands will be at similar position, their eyes, their legs will be in similar position. So that is how you mirror each other. So what happens just by mirroring or mirroring of thought processes, it makes you feel secure and safe. So that person is no more a threat for you. And obviously you become friends with person who is not a threat for you.
Absolutely, that is very true. So, like, I have seen this, especially between two generations. This happens quite often that children try to break or mold rigid belief patterns of their parents. Sometimes, for example, in some houses, the parents might not agree to, let's say, love marriage or same caste marriage, intercaste marriage. I'm sorry, something like that. So people often look for solutions as to if there is a way that they can mold the belief. So are there any practical ways in which like people can mold or maybe break the rigid belief patterns and try to gel up with people around them?
Yes. The thing is, if you go deep into neuroscience, you'll understand that your brain is neuroplastic. By neuroplastic, we mean that it can be, we can unlearn and learn.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So we can unlearn and learn. So that means there's no age, there's no, gender, or there's nothing as such that you cannot remove a belief and create a new belief. It can happen anytime. It's just about giving it a thought. Right? So when we give it a thought, agar humne soch liya that we have to, this belief is not helping me out. And see, it will all start with the awareness that what this belief is doing to me. Right? Once you get aware that this belief is not helping me, in fact this belief is creating problems in my life, जब वो awareness आ जाती है, then you start feeling that yeah, I need to do something to it. Right? So the beliefs which is not helping you out in your life, we call them as limiting belief, because they have created a boundary around you. Now, because the brain is neuroplastic, right, we can unlearn and learn. Now again, saying this, there are techniques, and yes, we coaches do that only. But again, saying that I said previously that whatever we resist, अगर हम कोई चीज resist करेंगे, that will persist, that will be with us more. Right? So if you just think about it, बहुत बार people ask me that affirmations काम नहीं करते, right? तो क्यों काम नहीं कर सकते? तो just think about it कि अगर हम affirmation में ये बोलेंगे, I don't want to be stressed, I am not stressed, I'm not taking any tension. So just look at these statements. I'm not taking tension, I'm not stressed. आप बोलोगे मैं बोल तो रहा हूँ कि मैं टेंशन नहीं ले रहा, मैं स्ट्रेस नहीं ले रहा, but where is the focus? When you say I'm not taking stress or I'm not taking tension, I'm not going to take any tension, you feel aha, I have said such a positive statement, but the whole focus is on stress, the whole focus is on tension. So similar way, when you say that you want to break a pattern, जो old pattern है, which is not serving you, which is in your subconscious, you actually do not have to work on that pattern. You have to work on creating the new pattern, which is going to help you in life. All right. So let me just ask you a very simple question. If suppose there's one line drawn, so how will you make this line smaller without erasing it or without folding the paper?
Drawing another line.
Very good. So that's what we do with belief system. So when you draw another line which is longer than that line, this line's existence becomes, smaller. Absolutely. So that becomes dominant. So that's what we do with belief system. We make the older pattern become shorter, and the new forwarding pattern which is going to help you out in life, the belief which is going to help you out, we try and move it into ourselves. We try and become that pattern by memorizing it, you can say, or through your senses. There are various methods to do that.
This was one of the most enlightening solutions that I've heard till date, because I've seen so many people struggle with this problem of trying to change someone's rigid opinion. And one more very important thing that we should all focus on is on the aspect of awareness, because unless the person won't realize that what their thought process is doing more bad to them, more harm to them than good, they won't be really looking forward to making new belief patterns. That was extremely helpful, and I think one of the most important points. Also, lastly, that when we talk about learning, unlearning, and plasticity of our brains, is that still in practical life? Is it limited to a particular age group or something? For example, that maybe youth is more susceptible to adopting and adapting to new changes, and whereas senior citizens are less likely to change their opinions or something like that?
No, age has nothing to do with it. Since you have asked about age, this is just an information which I would like to share, which I have studied through my the books I have read and all that. See what happens till 7 to 10 years of age, right? A child is still imbibing all the beliefs and thought process and everything. So still the personality is getting created. After 10 years of age, till 10 years of age, almost the work is done. So if you see a child is into certain beliefs which is not making the child move forward, right? So the easiest way is to work in this age group, right? The easiest. Yeah. So for that, parents have to work out, because likely they have gained it from the parents or relatives and people living their family and all. Now, if you move ahead, it can't be that any age group, a 50-year-old cannot change easily and a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old will change easily. This does not happen. Why? Because it's all about identity. When you want to change, you have to first ask yourself why you want to change. What is it you see for yourself? If that clarity you have, that clarity a 50-year-old can also have, that clarity a 20-year-old can also have, and that clarity you would find a 10-year-old can also have. I want to be this person. Until and unless you don't know why you want to be this person and why this identity you are looking for, you are looking yourself at this like this person, कितना भी कुछ कर लो, people say that habit बनाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, right? Habit बनाना मुश्किल इसलिए होता है because you have not identified yourself as that person. We exercise for 1 day, we exercise for 2 days, the third day we are like okay कल कर लेंगे, आज नहीं करेंगे, right? Because we have not identified ourselves with what we want to be. So this identification can be in any age. It's not bound by age. But just for information of parents, when they say that their child is getting hyperactive or their child is getting anxious or their child is very, attention seeking, अगर वो बच्चा 10 साल से छोटा है, so try and understand, बहुत minimal effort आप लोगे regular basis पे, that will change the child's life drastically. So that will definitely happen, but the personality which is formed, that can be changed. It just needs a thought process कि हाँ मुझे करना है.
So I think this is a big point of relief for a lot of people, and proper systematic solutions, as you said, that it's just important to identify ourselves in that particular event or personality that we're trying to adopt, and it is easy to change habits. This is, I think, one very big taboo also which is broken. As you only mentioned, people say adapting to or adopting new habits is very difficult, and old habits die hard and things like that. But I think it is important for people to just realize as to why do they need to change, and underlying reasoning can change a lot of things in a person's personality. So this was a very informative session. We got to learn so much about triggers, emotions, and how triggers work, and how we can just try to not get adversely affected by those triggers. And at the same time, you very beautifully established the relationship between beliefs and triggers, with all those small examples, which is so relatable. So at least my concept of triggers and belief has been very, like you just said, these with these examples, I'm all clear with these concepts. And we would actually would like to thank you a lot for coming and sharing all the information. It was really helpful. So before we end this, is there anything else, any important tip or any suggestion that you would like to share with everyone?
Because you asked about age, so I would just like to share that I have coaches who are like 50 years old, 40 years old, 55 years old. At that stage also, I have one coachee who never used to wake up early in the morning. And this person thought that if I could do this, I will be able to do everything. Right? So once the person identified what he wants to be like and why he wants to wake up early in the morning, today that person wakes up at 6 in the morning, goes to yoga, goes for his yoga, does all his this thing and everything. So I just wanted to give this example, since we cannot take any names, so I won't take any names, but I wanted to give this example because it's not necessary that if I'm 30-year-old or 40-year-old or 50-year-old, I'm already late and I cannot start. This is a big myth. And I would like to just tell people, एक बहुत छोटी सी चीज बताती हूँ आपको. If you want to identify what all your triggers are, this is just a small tip. A coach can always help you out with, a lot more things. And that is the reason, if you look at successful people around the globe, everybody has a coach. Everybody has a coach, because ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा that you will be 24/7 happy, 24/7 positive, and you will be 24/7. This won't happen. This is a big myth. big
Yeah,
myth. It won't happen. It will just, as I told you, just shorten the period of going into that subconscious and coming back. वो period shorten हो जाएगा, so that people do not identify that you went into the low emotion and you came back, right? So, so just very simple thought, simple thing I will tell, that how can you identify what are your triggers? So normally 60 to 70,000 thoughts come in, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts in a day, right? Now try and understand, why do few thoughts, 1, 2, 3 thoughts stick to us? अगर ऐसे 2-3 thoughts हैं जो आपसे रोज चिपक जाते हैं, so just write those thoughts down, because that thought has something to do with your belief system, something to do with how you think, whether you are getting into a rigid thought or you are going into a forward thinking, whether you are moving in whichever direction. Or if somebody tells you, like just for example, let me tell you, if I tell you you are not good looking, will you believe it?
Okay, if I talk about myself, if I don't know the person, I would not believe it.
Okay, so if you don't know the person, you would not believe it, right? So that means internally you know that okay, I am good looking, इस person का कोई लेना देना नहीं है मुझसे, ये जो भी बात कर रहा है फालतू कर रहा है, right? But somehow a person who knows you, if that person says that you are not good looking, you start believing and you start checking yourself. That means that has struck something inside you. Somewhere you feel कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, right? And that is where you have to check, why am I feeling कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, right? So अगर 60-70 हजार thoughts आते हैं, हम इतने लोगों से बात करते हैं, तो कुछ लोगों की बात ही हमें क्यों strike हो जाती है, and why do we start feeling low about it? So those are the things, those are the areas where we need to work.
Okay, got it.
उसको पेपर पे लिखे, and then after writing on paper, just give it a thought, why I am getting into this, why this is sticking to me. Somewhere it is to do with your belief system. That is the easiest way. And if you are able to find somebody who can help you out, go and find somebody. If you can write it and then do it on your own, do it on your own. But this is the easiest way you can identify your trigger, because we do not believe something which we actually don't believe. अगर हमें बाहर वाला भी कोई कहेगा, तो we won't believe.
Absolutely right. Very correctly. I think I'm definitely going to do this thing of writing the thoughts and trying to put this out. And I'm definitely going to contact you in future for coaching sessions as much as needed. And thanks a lot for giving us such beautiful, first of all, connection between our belief system, our triggers, and one more very motivational thing that you said about age. And I think everyone will take one thing back from this life would be that age is not a factor that is going to limit anyone from doing anything. So do go ahead and achieve whatever you wish to. Once again, ma'am, thank you so much for giving us such insightful suggestions and telling us so much about our triggers and our belief system. And I'm sure that that is very helpful for a lot of us. Thank you once again for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you along with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here, and it was great to interact with you. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.